Hello everybody and welcome to a very steamy afternoon, and since 4th of July is coming up, I thought it would be fun to do some 4th of July themed science experiments. So let's go ahead and get started. For our first experiment, all you're going to need is a sheet of dark colored construction paper, although I guess you could use white or whatever color you have. Then some glue, baking soda, vinegar, a straw or a spoon, or you can kind of make it up as you go along. And if you want food coloring, because you know Miss Caitlin always loves food coloring. So what we're going to do is we are going to make some fireworks that actually sizzle. So let's give it a try. So all you have to do is you're going to draw some fireworks out of liquid glue. So we're just going to go ahead and make our sparks and everything coming out there. I made one earlier so I could let it dry. So that's what we're going to experiment with us in this video. All right, get the idea. We're making some lines, vaguely firework shaped. Then we're going to take our baking soda and we're going to sprinkle our baking soda over the glue. And then we're going to go ahead and let that dry and then shake off the excess in the trash can. And then we'll be left with this very nifty looking picture. Now this picture is not something you're going to want to hang on the wall because it's going to look really gross here in a second. So what we're going to do is I want my fireworks to have a little bit of color to them when they sizzle. So I'm going to add a little food coloring to my vinegar. Now, if you happen to have like a medicine dropper or a syringe, not a syringe, but a dropper, that would work fantastic. If you don't have a dropper, you can do another kind of experiment and use a straw. So what we want to do is only have a couple of drops on here so we can control it. So what we can do is we're going to take our straw, you're going to put it in the liquid, and then we're going to cover the top with our finger so that way the water stays in there, and then we can let it go and you can see it fall out. So this gives us a little bit more control. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our little bit of vinegar and we're going to put it on our lovely glue drawing, and our firework is fizzing. Look at that. And if you have a bigger straw, it tends to work a little bit faster. I only have a little teeny tiny one on me right now. And then you can also, if you have more vinegar, you can make them in different colors. And we have our very own fizzing fireworks. And you can hear them. You can even hear them fizzing. All right, so we have those fireworks, but you can only use them once, and you don't really want to put them up because they're going to look all gross and get all wet. So now we're going to make our own reusable fireworks. So for this, all you need is some thick construction paper. I'm using some really thick paper, although if you have construction paper that works, and it can be whatever color you want. And you're going to need tape or glue, and then you're going to need something to shoot out of it. So I'm going to use pompoms and tissue paper, which I already have loaded in this one, or anything that's light. Even marshmallows would work really well. Anything that's light and flies. If you've got feathers and you really want to make a giant mess, you can do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our sheets of paper. You can color it first if you want to make a really cool one, or you can color it later. Doesn't really matter. We're going to roll it into a circle about that size. You can also use a paper towel tube for this, a nice long paper towel tube. If you've got one lying around, that works well. But it's also kind of fun to have a nice crisp white one because it lets your colors really shine through. But it's up to you. So we're going to go ahead and tape that all up. Now we're going to take our second one and we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to make it a little bit smaller, making it a little bit tighter than we did the other one. So you're going to go ahead and, like, that's too big, it doesn't fit. So we're going to have to make it even tighter. Now we don't want to make it perfect. You can see it's a little bit smaller. You can see that it's just a little bit, but it still goes in and out easily. So we're going to go ahead and tape that. And like so. This is going to be what I'm going to call our plunger, which is what's going to shoot everything out of it. All right. Now, if we were trying to load our new reusable firework, if we put it in there, things would just fall through all the way, which would be kind of silly. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut some strips out of our smaller tube just little teeny tiny cuts all the way around, like so. And then we're gonna fold them in, so that way we're making the top of it so things can't go through the tube anymore. And then we're gonna tape that piece. And there we go. And now you put that flat end into your tube, like so. So there you go. Now comes the time to load our firework. So I'm gonna use pom-poms, but like I said, you can use marshmallows, you can use tissue paper, you can use whatever you have lying around, whatever you don't mind picking up later. Popcorn would work really well, because if you use popcorn outside, guess what? You can let the birds eat it too. So there you go. So I've got some pom-poms, and all you have to do to set off your firework, you load it in there. We're going to use the science of inertia. So inertia means that if things in motion want to stay in motion. So if we start these pom-poms or popcorn or tissue paper or little strips of paper or little balls of paper or whatever you have, if we start them moving, they're gonna want to keep moving until gravity forces them down. So you guys ready? I'm gonna stand off to the side, and you're gonna take your hand right below your plunger, and then you're gonna hit it as fast as you can. You ready? Let's try our homemade firework. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoosh! Ah, I love it, and I made a giant mess in the playroom. And so I made another one with tissue paper so you can see it. Now, if you do it nice and slow, there's not as much inertia because they're not going very fast, so they're just gonna fall straight down after they get out of the tube. So the key is to go as fast as you can, and you can experiment with how fast and how far you can get things to go. So are you ready? Let's try it one more time. Ready, set. There we go. I hope you enjoyed our 4th of July steamy afternoon, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.